Fox 35 News Edge at 6 starts now.
Take kind of a political pot shot on somebody's grave. I thought that was pretty low.
Calls are growing tonight for a school board chair to step down after a post on social media about the death of Hulk Hogan. Plus,
Chuck E. Cheese guy whiffed it.
Yes, he did. Chuck E. Cheese busted, and a local family was right there as police came in. Now they're sharing what it was like to watch the big cheese get caught up in a trap.
but first, dangerous heat all across Central Florida today. We are actually seeing some record-breaking temperatures. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Now, this stands to be the hottest day so far this year, so let's check in with meteorologist Noah Bergman. So, Noah, some people did get rain. I don't know if it's going to cool them down too much, though.
Well, if you're under this, John, it'll be a brief but big cool down. And this is looking towards Disney Springs, Magic Kingdom, and Epcot right now in its celebration. Big time downpour south of the city. But here's the rain today. Little blip there in Lake Mary, little bit by the theme parks, and that's it. So the majority did not see rain today, which was expected. But for the very small minority that is, wow, is it downpouring right now over Lake Buena Vista, Williamsburg, Epic Universe, just a little bit of a downpour going towards Four Corners, in celebration. The radar from the MCO airport, which is closer than our radar and the Melbourne radar, detected a wind gust of about 46 miles an hour in Disney Springs. So I'm sure for those there caught out in this, it was really whipping pretty good for a couple of moments ago there. Right in SeaWorld, a downpour, but the worst of it's over towards Disney Springs and Magic Kingdom right now. We can still see there's a lot of rain and some lightning. Temperature 97 in Winter Haven, 95 in Bithlo, 95 in DeLand. We've passed the hottest point of the day, but it is still way humid with the heat index up over 105 still at 6 o'clock at night. I'll talk to you more about tomorrow, which is going to be hotter than today was, in just a few minutes.
Also breaking right now in Orange County, deputies on the lookout for a man connected to an attempted rape. It happened on the Little Econ Greenway near Yates Road on Friday around 9 a.m. Deputies say a woman was running when a man attacked her from behind. They believe the person in this video is a person of interest. Now, this is surveillance video from moments before the alleged attack. The woman was able to get away. Deputies now urging people to use caution when on that trail.
New details tonight. Calls are growing for a school board chair to resign after she made these controversial comments about Hulk Hogan's death. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth is hearing from both sides.
Republican leaders say the comments weren't illegal, but were distasteful. So they want her out and want the school board to consider actions against her. State Republican leaders want Alachua County School Board Chairman to resign.
Take kind of a political pot shot on somebody's grave. I thought that was pretty low.
Chairman Sarah Rockwell is accused of making comments celebrating the death of WWE wrestler Hulk Hogan from her personal Facebook account, writing "One less MAGA in the world" in a post. Hogan endorsed President Donald Trump at the Republican National Convention last year. He died last week. Rockwell deleted the comments after they went viral on social media and posted this apology to her official school board Facebook page, saying in part, quote, "I deeply regret making that comment and have since removed it. I want to make it very clear that I never have and never will wish harm on anyone, regardless of whether we share political views. While I strongly disagree with some of the comments Hulk Hogan made, that is no excuse for my comment."
I think she was trying to be sincere, but the reality is there's a deep wound there, and I think there's still going to be a scar despite the apology.
Tim Martin is the chairman of the Republican Party in Alachua County. He says the school district should also consider reprimanding Rockwell for her actions.
It does violate their own code of ethics, and the fact that she's actually the chair of that board just sort of magnifies and amplifies the situation.
Fox 35 reached out to Rockwell and the school district for comment. We have not heard back. There is a school board meeting set for this Thursday. Local Republican leaders are asking people who are upset to attend that school board meeting and let them know how they feel. Reporting tonight, Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Randy. The city of Groveland considering a plan that would make it easier to remove an elected official there. Council members are meeting right now to discuss that proposal. This all comes after Council member Judith Fike was suspended for allegedly posting racist and anti-gay messages on social media. She was suspended because city leaders claimed that she violated the code of ethics. But a judge reversed that decision, agreeing with her defense that the council did not have the legal right to remove her. Now to a story you'll see only on Fox 35. A woman and her dog allegedly attacked on the beach by another dog in Brevard County.
And she says that other dog was not on a leash. Fox 35's Stephanie Buffamonte spoke to the woman about what happened.
The woman is recovering, and thankfully her dog is okay. She says this happened at Canova Beach, which you can see is a dog beach with clear signage that says only leashed dogs are allowed on the beach. No unleashed dogs permitted. She says her dog was on a leash. The dog that bit her was not.
It all could have been prevented if he just would have had his dog on the leash. We'd never be here.
Alicia Stewart and her dog Dusty sat down with us after she says she was bitten by a Great Dane while at Canova Beach. Stewart says Dusty was on a leash that was connected to her waist when the other dog that she claims wasn't on a leash approached them.
He came up towards us, and I put out my arm like that, and to try to keep the space, and I started yelling no, because a lot of times that if I do that, the dog will run off. If you just try to keep space, the dog will run off. But that dog, for whatever reason, proceeded to attack.
This happened just before 8 Saturday night. This is the Great Dane she claims attacked her and Dusty. She tells us she took this photo that night after the owner got their dog following the alleged attack. She's now recovering from the deep gashes on her arm and her hand that we have blurred. Dusty has a scratch on his head and the side of his face. We saw Animal Services at Stewart's home this afternoon as they took the report. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office confirms a bite investigator is looking into her claims. People at the beach Monday were surprised to hear of what happened.
In my opinion, 99% of the people that come here are responsible dog owners. And I'm here a few times a week, and that's the first time I've heard of a human being bitten, and that's bad.
Carrie Lewis enjoying time in the sand with her dog Boomer, who was on a leash close by.
It's posted for him to be on his leash, and we always keep him on a leash because it's just safer for him. We have control of him and the situation.
This case is under investigation. Reporting in Melbourne, Stephanie Buffamonte, Fox 35 News.
We are hearing the 911 call after a 70-year-old woman was attacked in South Daytona on Friday. Her fiance made the call saying she entered their hotel room covered in blood.
My wife was attacked and she's bleeding on the floor, and I covered over a blanket.
Where was it that she was attacked at?
I don't know. I was asleep and I woke up and she's on the floor and she's got blood all over the place.
Investigators have identified a person of interest, and they say there is no danger to the public. However, we do not know who that person is, and so far, no arrests have been made. The victim remains in critical condition.
Got a news alert right now. A 1-week-old baby was found all alone on a driveway in Orlando this morning. So police are now looking for the parents. And Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns is taking a look at what parents can do when they are facing a crisis.
Right now, a baby is in the hospital and is doing okay. Orlando police say that infant, who was just days old, was left outside in the extreme heat. It happened in this neighborhood this morning.
The hottest day of the summer so far. Orlando police say they were called out here to the 5500 block of Lido Street for an abandoned baby. The baby was found in a car seat just after 7 Monday morning. Neighbors say this blue house is where the baby was left. Police are still searching for the child's parents. In a statement sent to Fox 35, the police department said in part, the Orlando Police Department reminds all parents and caregivers that the Safe Haven Law exists to provide a safe, legal, and anonymous option for surrendering newborns. Parents can safely leave an infant with someone at designated locations, such as a hospital, a staffed fire rescue station, or a staffed emergency medical service station with no questions asked, anonymously, and without fear of prosecution. Fox 35 spoke with Nick Silverio, who is the founder of a Safe Haven for Newborns.
We've helped moms as young women as young as 13 and as old as 47 years old. So, and everything in between. And it's this is not a minority issue. This is an issue that crosses all categories of age, ethnicity, so forth.
Police are asking neighbors in this area to review their doorbell surveillance video to see if you may have captured anything on your camera early this morning. And as always, police say if you have any information, please give their department a call. You can remain anonymous. Reporting in Orlando this evening, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
Thanks, Kelsey. Also a developing story. A jury will start hearing testimony tomorrow in the trial of a man accused of killing a former Orlando Magic player.
Yeah, Lawrence Doherty is now claiming self-defense for the shooting of Adrian Payne back in 2022. Fox 35's Marie Edinger has the details tonight from Orange County.
Investigators allege a former Orlando Magic player was trying to break up a domestic violence dispute when he was shot and killed. Lawrence Doherty is arguing self-defense under Florida's stand your ground law and claims he was protecting his family and his home. Officials say they have surveillance video where they're able to hear the single gunshot that killed Magic player Adrian Payne. Payne was transported to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Detectives say he wasn't armed when he was killed. Doherty later told detectives Payne was getting in his face and he was intimidated because Payne is over 7 feet tall. That's why he went inside, he says, to get his gun.
You are currently charged with 1 count of second-degree murder with a firearm. That is a life felony. It's punishable by up to life imprisonment, life probation, and a $10,000 fine. Because it also involves the use of a firearm, it carries a 25 to life minimum mandatory day-for-day sentence.
Doherty has pleaded not guilty to his charge of second-degree murder with a firearm, which carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. The state says they have not offered him a plea deal. Attorneys estimate the trial could take 4 days. The jury has now officially been selected, and opening statements will begin tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning. In Orlando, Marie Edinger, Fox 35 News.
New details into the arrest of Chuck E. Cheese, or at least the man who was dressed up as Chuck E. Cheese. It happened at a restaurant in Tallahassee. A family from the Villages was there during the arrest. The young children were trying to take photos with the character when police told them Chucky was going to be busy. That's when they handcuffed the costume man. The mom there quickly shuffled her kids away and was left to explain what happened to the kids.
When they had him at the truck, they took off his head and put it on top of the SUV truck. So then we went into it's kind of like, Chucky's got a lot of friends who help him so he can get to all the Chuck E. Cheese places at once, like trying to manage the magic still while we're watching now the man get undressed out of the costume outside.
According to the arrest report, this man was behind the mask. It's Jermel Jones. He was arrested for credit card fraud. Police say he stole a card that was left by a customer and racked up over $100 in charges. Well, coming up on the Fox 35 News Edge at 6, more budget cuts are coming to NASA, but possible layoffs may be just the beginning.
Plus, is your wallet feeling the heat this summer? Families shocked by soaring utility bills. So we're digging into why costs are skyrocketing.
And little sea turtle hatchlings are becoming disoriented by lights when they leave the nest. What you can do to make sure the sea turtle population survives the journey from the sand to the sea. All new at 6, we are in peak sea turtle nesting season on the Space Coast. There are now more than 20,000 nests that have been documented so far.
But turtle trackers are worried. They say too many of those hatchlings are not making it to the sea. Fox 35's Esther Bowers shows us the obstacles stopping them in their tracks.
It was a deadly day for several sea turtles here on the Space Coast. They hatched in the sand but became disoriented, so they came up this ramp before hitting A1A, where several were struck and killed. Dead baby sea turtles killed in the crosswalk near Nance Park in Indy Atlantic on Monday morning.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's unfortunate. They made a long trek from the beach to A1A through traffic and cars, and they're going the wrong way.
The Sea Turtle Preservation Society says the turtles are going the wrong way because too many lights are on at night.
The growing problem and the giant concern and in the extreme frustration from everybody that works in sea turtles is that we are losing losing tens of thousands of hatchlings in the state from artificial light.
Whether it's homes or houses or street lights or businesses, the light pollution can disorient hatchlings.
Indy Atlantic wasn't the only problem area on Monday. During the turtle survey walk in Cocoa Beach, we saw numerous baby turtle tracks also going away from the ocean.
Just because you have a record number of nests and you want to celebrate that, and we should be excited about it, if the hatchlings aren't getting to the ocean, that's a giant problem.
A problem caused by humans that's making it hard for the species to survive. Brevard's beaches are one of the densest nesting sites for sea turtles in the world. Turtle trackers say there's more than 20,000 nests so far and many more to come. Nests are constantly being roped off and monitored, but getting the babes back to the water is still a challenge.
But we just can't get our act together good enough to turn the lights off.
And we can all play a part preventing these kinds of tragedies. Our beaches really need to stay clean, flat, and dark to help these sea turtles survive. Reporting in Brevard County, Esther Bauer, Fox 35 News.
Well, we are tracking the tropics today. 2 tropical waves in the Atlantic are being watched very closely for potential development. You see them right there, long ways away, but of course we're keeping an eye on it. Noah Bergman especially keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, so Noah, we are heading into August, which starts the busy period of hurricane season.
Yeah, and you know, the good news is right now there's nothing imminent out there. But look, it's about to be August, which if you live in Florida, you know. Once it gets to August, if you don't, we always tell people, once it gets to August, if you know people that don't tune in as often to the weather, now's the time of the year. Start checking online on our website. Start every couple of days. If you're not here every single day, I wish you were. There's a view from the beach. This time of the year, it's always good to check in on the tropics because things could change pretty fast. But right now, none of that's a concern. The heat is the big story statewide in Florida. This is the hottest we've had in many years. That's easily the headline right now is the heat, the heat, the heat. Lots of sunshine out there right now. Now, want to make a couple of things clear for you. First, we are going to continue our weather impact day for tomorrow. It's the hottest it's been here in several years. And in fact, I think tomorrow, Tuesday, to scream this from the rooftops, will be hotter than today. And will be the hottest of this spell. So the heat peaks tomorrow, if you're asking. Now, if you're also wondering when does the heat end, there's no end. We're not in St. Louis, we're not in Chicago, we're not in Pittsburgh. There's no front that comes through and then magically the next day it's 30 degrees lower. It doesn't work like that in Florida. Heat waves rarely just end. They taper, and that's how this will happen through the week. We just step down a couple of degrees each day after tomorrow. So the high tomorrow is near 100, 97 on Wednesday, 96 Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But note the average is 92. So again, does the heat wave end? It doesn't really end. It just fades as we go into the upcoming weekend. Last time Orlando hit 100 was back in 2023. Today, so far, we hit 99 degrees, the air temp in Orlando. Here's the peak heat indexes so far across Florida. I'll have a complete recap on the late news tonight of the highs and the heat index numbers. But St. Petersburg, 126, 120 in Tampa, 111 today in Orlando. Tomorrow, 96 to 101 the air temps. Today, Claremont hit 101. The Villages was 100 today. We'll see how tomorrow ends up. Heat index tomorrow, the humidity's higher tomorrow. 108 to 118 is the heat index. And you look to the south from downtown, there's a big downpour with a big surge of cool air, but that's the only real downpour that's out there right now. We've had some decent rain from this right over Williamsburg right now. Wow, we're cooking out some rain right off of OBT here, going down towards Epic Universe where that new road links up with the theme park there. You can see the rain over the last 3 hours, an inch of rain at Magic Kingdom, and at Epcot, Disney Springs, almost an inch of rain over the last couple of minutes. And you can see those clouds being pushed to the west, thanks to the flow high up in the atmosphere. Some bigger storms in the Tampa area, also a few down by Fort Myers. And on the visible satellite, it's that thunderstorm complex and the clouds from it, and then nothing else around it. It's completely clear outside of that one thunderstorm. Nothing severe, though, right now across the state. So temperatures were past the hottest point of the day, but it's still going to feel like it's into the 90s. When I see you on the news at 11 tonight, the heat index will still probably be into the 90s in many places nearing midnight. Here's the heat index right now: 112 in Bushnell, 109 in Winter Haven, 106 Palm Coast, 108 in DeLand, 100 in Cocoa Beach, 109 currently in the Villages. So overnight, we're upper 70s to near 80 for an overnight low. Tomorrow's high temperature about 100 inland, give or take a degree or two. Low 90s in the Space Coast, and then upper 90s Palm Coast to Daytona. But you factor the humidity tomorrow. I told you today Orlando is 111, tomorrow 112, and some of these other places are higher too for the heat index. Could even see a few 118s, especially around Gainesville and Ocala tomorrow and some more rural areas. We'll keep an eye on that. So here's the 7-day. The heat peaks tomorrow. Storm chances rise quite a bit as we head through later this week. I'll talk to you more about that, guys, in the next half hour.
All right. Thank you, Noah. Coming up next, a one-of-a-kind satellite is heading into outer space. It will help catch natural disasters before it's too late, when the launch is scheduled ahead.
Across Florida, manatee deaths are on the rise this year. We're only 7 months into the year, and we're already getting close to last year's total. State numbers show 477 deaths so far. Last year, whole year, 565. Now, many of those last year were due to a very cold October. This year, the main issue is boat strikes. Manatee advocates are asking people to be extra careful on the water, especially in those manatee zones.
We see a lot of manatees with blunt trauma, so that's just the impact of a watercraft going across their back.
Now, if you do see an injured manatee, you are asked to call FWC.
From Fox 35 Mission Control, get ready for a late night launch from the Space Coast tomorrow. A SpaceX Falcon 9 is going to launch at 11:30 p.m. The rocket will send 27 Starlink satellites into orbit. And a first of its kind collaboration is also launching this week. NASA and the Indian Space Research Organization is scheduled to launch a satellite on Wednesday. The NISAR satellite will take constant images of the Earth so researchers can keep a very close eye on minor changes in a shoreline or river.
This is really important to understand not only how our planet is changing, to act on time, to sort of manage our resources.
Well, the launch will take place in India. Liftoff is scheduled for 8:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Coming up on Central Florida's only live local newscast at 6:30, a viral challenge has law enforcement on alert.
Yeah, now they're warning the kids kicking indoors could not only face charges, but there might be a big warning here, too. And astronomer is leaning into the Coldplay kiss cam cheating scandal. They're hiring a big name to sort out the PR mess.
Top story at 6:30 tonight. Some big changes are coming to NASA and the Space Coast.
Yeah, that's all because NASA is cutting jobs. And Fox 35's Kelsey Cairns is live tonight to explain how many people could be let go. Kelsey.
Well, John, tonight we know that new budget shortages could lead to a 20% cut of NASA's workforce. That means that could be as many as 3,000 jobs lost on the Space Coast within the next 6 months. Now, those layoffs and furloughs could bring NASA staff to less than 15,000 people to the first time in more than 10 years. Some will have the option for a deferred resignation, meaning the staff will be on paid leave until an agreed upon date. We caught up with a Space Coast expert who says he's worried about what this could mean for Central Florida.
Luckily with the Space Coast, you guys will probably be launching rockets no matter what. But if you start to cut the satellites that are being built elsewhere, fewer rockets. If they cut back on the moon program, fewer rockets. So although there may not be an immediate impact long term, especially for the commercial space folks who are looking to launch more of these satellites, there's going to be a trickle-down effect.
And this has been a growing concern since President Donald Trump assumed office. And since January, NASA has lost more than 500 employees. Well, the agency is hopeful the administration will cut only between 20 to 24% of its overall job force. Reporting live tonight, I'm Kelsey Cairns, Fox 35 News.
Kelsey, thank you. Alligator Alcatraz under the microscope again. Civil rights lawyers are seeking a temporary restraining order against that detention center. They say detainees are not being allowed to meet with their attorneys. The immigration lawyers argue the detainees' constitutional rights are being violated. They say more than 100 immigrants have already been deported without being able to speak to their lawyers. Attorneys who have shown up for bond hearings say they were told that the immigration court doesn't have jurisdiction over their clients, and they've since demanded officials begin accepting petitions for bonds. Judges urged the attorneys to refile their complaints and have set up an in-person court hearing set for August 18th.
Well, right now, some people are getting sky-high energy bills. Many of our viewers have reached out to tell us monthly bills have jumped 30% compared to last year.
It turns out Duke Energy is using price surging. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger explains why.
Duke Energy customers say they have tried moving up their thermostat a couple of degrees, but they are still seeing massive energy bills.
I understand it going up in the summer, but still $400, it's $450 this month.
I guess it was two months ago, our bill increased by about $180.
It's summer. Everyone is going to see higher energy bills as their AC units churn a little harder. But Duke customers are really feeling it. Jake Hubbard and Stephanie Huller used to paying around $400, for instance, and last month their bill was creeping up toward $600.
I was floored. I was completely floored. I was like, there's got to be a mistake. I wanted to have the meter checked because this is ridiculous.
They are far from the only ones having that experience. So I went to figure out why.
So one of the things is our storm cost recovery.
I learned Duke's rate adjustments are all over the place. They have an agreement with the Florida Public Service Commission to raise base rates by 2% this year and again in 2026 and 2027. But they also got rid of some fees they had been charging, resulting in bills being about $10 lower. Then in March, they added a storm damage recovery charge of $31 per 1,000 kilowatt hours used. The company says that fee, plus the hot summer months, are resulting in some sticker shock.
Almost half of the rent.
I mean, how are other people surviving?
There's one other thing. Some people signed up for a program that charges you extra for power used in peak hours, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's in exchange for a discounted rate during off hours. It winds up saving a lot of people money, but some people were unhappy with the results. Some energy saving tips.
Close your blinds, close your curtains, keep the sun out. That's heating your house. Use those heat generating appliances like ovens in the morning when it's a little bit cooler. And then also turning your fans counterclockwise. That can push that cool air down back into the room.
If you get to the point where you really cannot meet that bill, Duke does offer payment plans and financial assistance programs. Marie Ettinger, Fox 35 News.
Astronomer has gotten a lot of questions over the last few days, and they wanted me to answer the most common ones. Yes, Astronomer is the best place to run Apache airflow.
Tonight on TMZ, the company Astronomer hired a new PR rep after that Coldplay cheating scandal. Guess who it is? The ex-wife of that band's frontman. And TMZ producer Michael Babcock is joining us live tonight. Michael, good to see you. It's been a long time.
Hey, Luann, too long. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, let's talk about this. Gwyneth Paltrow is helping with damage control. Is this kind of like a joke, tongue-in-cheek thing here?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the standpoint of the company, it was brilliant marketing here. I mean, everybody has now heard of this company that most people had never heard of just a couple of days ago in obviously Astronomer here. But what do they do? I mean, is it a space company? I mean, I think most people, I had no idea. I think most people had no idea. So now you kind of leverage this viral story that's all over the place. And, you tell people about the company. And how do you do that? And how do you get people to actually pay attention? Right. You hire Chris Martin, of course, the Coldplay lead man. You hire his ex-wife and this very popular celebrity to again say, hey, look, we've got 300 people at this company who are really good people and really good at their jobs. And I think, again, you're leveraging this massively popular story and actually turning it, at least for the company's sake, into a positive. Not so much for the late CEO now, obviously doesn't have a job anymore. He's got some problems at home. But for Astronomer, now this, I think, becomes a positive thing for their company.
Yeah, I'm guessing they have more online traffic now than they did probably in the company's history, right? Everyone's like, Astronomer, who is that?
Right. In a day, they probably had more than they ever had, Luann, right? I know I've been to the website now. I had never before, so.
No, I never heard of the company before, and I had to go check them out, too. So, all right, Michael, thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll tune into TMZ tonight at 7:30.
All right, let's continue that theme, okay? In the sports zone, Coldplay, they're not stopping with the Kiss Cam at this point. In fact, just last night, a very popular Florida athlete was on the cam.
And UCF football kicks off fall camp. Fox 35 sports reporter Sean Berry is joining us live tonight with more. Hey, Sean.
Hey guys, no one is safe from the Coldplay cam anymore, truly. Hey, in the Fox 35 Sports Zone tonight, Orlando City pulling out a huge win over Columbus on the road over the weekend. The Lions beating the Crew 3-1. The win putting Orlando within 1 point of Inter Miami in the Eastern Conference standings. Columbus, though, when you look at this game, they dominated the pitch, had almost double the amount of shots, had possession for about 2/3 of the game, and had 250 more passes than Orlando. But Orlando making the most of its time with the ball. Ramiro Enrique scoring twice in 3 minutes, coming off the bench to do so. Orlando City, by the way, will now
the energy that he brought us today, and not just the two goals that he scored that obviously are the most important, but I think that sensibility that he showed today with his group coming from the bench and giving us the best. So again, a big game for us, and Ramiro did a phenomenal job today, and he just gave us a lot of tools when he comes from the bench or starting. He is an example for the youngsters with that respect that he has for the group.
Orlando City, by the way, now taking a break from MLS play. They kick off the Leagues Cup on Wednesday against Pumas, a soccer club from Mexico City. The Leagues Cup, by the way, the annual tournament featuring teams from the MLS and Liga MX from Mexico. 18 of their best versus 18 of our best are in it. Switching gears to a different kind of football, UCF football kicking off fall camp today. Head coach Scott Frost gave an update on the team. The Knights, if you can believe it, have 69 new players, returning just 4 regular starters from last season. One of the big talking points, though, who's going to be taking the snap for the Knights this season? Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Frost will focus on fall camp to find a starter for the team's opener versus Jacksonville State. It's likely going to come down to Ja'Curry Brown, Taven Jackson, and Cam Fanchner.
We've got 3 guys that did well enough in spring that I feel like if they were our starter, I'd feel really good about it. We'd probably design the offense a little different based on who that quarterback was. But all 3 of them are capable of making us a dangerous team. The sooner it clarifies, the better off we'll be, because we'll be able to get some reps with that guy, more reps with that guy, start to develop continuity. But we're also not going to anoint anyone. I had a meeting with the 3 the other day, and we're going to grade every single snap, every single play. And I told them mostly it's going to be based on, did you make the winning play on that play? Sometimes that might be a 50-yard completion. Sometimes it might be taking a sack or throwing the ball away. Sometimes it might just be handing the ball off. But I really am going to lean on the guy that puts us in the best position to win by making the right decision in every play. And we're going to give all 3 guys an opportunity, and hopefully that clears itself up pretty quick.
Season kicking off a month from today on August 28th. Fox 35, by the way, celebrating our Little League Lake Mary softball Southeast champs. The girls were in studio this morning before they head off to North Carolina for the Little League World Series. They recapped some of their favorite moments from the last week.
My favorite moment was definitely beating North Carolina after, well, first of all, Rachel scoring that run, and then we went to extra innings and we just demolished in extra innings.
Nice, okay. Keep going. Favorite moment?
Sam?
Yeah, favorite moment, Sam?
My favorite moment was definitely getting those Ks when I was pitching, and it was just awesome. I just loved it.
K's strikeout, by the way. That's strikeout.
My favorite moment was winning the regional, because as returners, we know what it's like to lose, so getting the chance to actually finally win was the best feeling.
I bet it was. Lake Mary leaving Thursday. They're going to face Washington, who's representing the Northwest region on Saturday. But before we go, we teased to this earlier. Check out this highlight, a different kind. Inter Miami's Lionel Messi suspended for a game, trying to stay out of trouble, but he goes to a Coldplay concert in Miami Gardens. He gets spotted on the famous Kiss Cam. But Messi, by the way, we just want to clarify, this is his wife, so he is not in any trouble whatsoever. But this just goes to show you guys, if you go to the Coldplay concert, watch out, because that kiss cam will get you.
Who you're supposed to be with,
Right.
and it's all good.
I just duck anyway, just to kind of stir it up a little bit. So, you know.
Just to stir up trouble, I got you.
That's what we do.
He likes to be a pot
Of
stirrer,
course, sure.
Sean.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Good to see you. All right, coming up, the social media trend goes a bit too far.
Teens kicking doors in and catching felony charges. Tonight, we have a warning from police all across the country. Welcome back. Take a look at this. A man driving home from church got a surprise from above. A fish falls right from the sky. But this was no miracle. The man in Wisconsin says a bald eagle lost its lunch. The bird dropped the fish and it landed right in the grill of his truck. He says it was bigger than any bass he had ever caught. Well, the heat wave continues here in Central Florida. I'm here in the Storm Center tonight with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Noah Bergeron. And Noah, the sun is not letting up tomorrow.
No, it's not. In fact, I think tomorrow's hotter than today.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, some places did set records today. I'll have a full list in the late news, but Leesburg hit 100 officially today. Claremont was 101. Orlando so far 99, where the high was. This is the view from downtown looking north. It's beautiful. Look at this, though. This is looking south. Very different story. Had a big thunderstorm by the theme parks over the last hour. It's falling apart, though, right now. Temperature right now, 99 in Gainesville, 96 Ocala, 96 Winter Haven, 94 in Sanford, 95 in DeLane, 93 currently in Palm Coast. Heat index is still up there. 108 Kissimmee, 109 Winter Haven, 108 in Ocala, 100 in Cocoa Beach. For many places, this will be the hottest of the year and the hottest we've seen in several years, what we had today and again tomorrow. 111 in Tampa, the heat index today in St. Petersburg, 126. Highest I found officially in the state of Florida today. Temperatures overnight, upper 70s, most are dry. Now, this is the average heat index across our area. Remember, we cover a large area we forecast for here, from Palm Coast to Brevard County over towards Gainesville, then Lake, Sumter, Marion counties. You average that all together. Tomorrow, some places will be up to 118. But notice the trend here is it comes down, but it's still really hot. Heat waves don't end in Florida. They taper. Rarely in summer do we get a cold front that ends a heat wave. Tomorrow, hotter than today, near 100 air temperature inland. Here's the heat index peak tomorrow, somewhere between 108 and 116, 118. In the middle of the afternoon and evening. Care for yourself. If you're going to be outside in the heat tomorrow, check on the elderly, care for your pets. If you know somebody doesn't have good air conditioning, make sure you check on them tomorrow. Be a good friend and neighbor. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, maybe a thunderstorm here or there like today, but I doubt there's much. Something like today where there's like 2 or 3 storms in a small area. That's it. Wednesday, the heat starts to taper and the rain chances come back up. Notice Wednesday afternoon, here's 3 o'clock, here's 5:30, a healthy coverage of showers and storms that'll last through mid-evening before things fade away going into Thursday. A couple other big stories I want to tell you about. Tonight, it's not just the heat, but up in the Midwest, major severe weather. The Minneapolis and Rochester area, they're talking about hurricane force winds tonight from a likely derecho that's expected to form. So some national headlines, the heat here in Florida, maybe some up to 100 mile an hour wind gusts in this derecho overnight through southern Minnesota and Iowa. Also in the tropics, we're watching a couple tropical waves here coming across into the Atlantic, possibly the end of next week. One of these will try to develop. Here's the long-range modeling. This is the European model. Just want to let this play. I don't normally do this because this is a 2-week forecast here. But notice by August 10th, 11th, maybe, right there, maybe our first credible tropical system out in the Atlantic will try to get going. I'll talk to you more about it, though. I'll have some more time. I'll put it towards it on the late news tonight at 10 and 11. So the heat peaks tomorrow, then it starts to taper by the end of the week, but the rain chances are going to come back up.
A
warning tonight from law enforcement about a social media challenge. Teens are doing the door kick challenge and ending up behind bars. We showed you this video from earlier this month in DeBary. Well, both of these teenagers are now facing felony burglary charges. And a decision to participate in one of these social media trends can really have a lasting impact on your future.
And Fox 35's Caroline Elliott joins us live now from Atlanta to tell us why police are so concerned about this trend. So, Caroline, what are they saying about it?
Yeah, well, John, Luann, it's called the Door Kick Challenge, and it's exactly what it sounds like, okay? The idea is to kick someone's door in, get it on video, and then post it on Instagram or TikTok. And we're told kids are doing all of this right now just to get likes and clicks on social media. So the idea may have started as an innocent prank, but it certainly doesn't look like it. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office released a new video that looks just like the beginning of a robbery. Someone runs up to the front door wearing a mask and holding an airsoft gun, which is kind of like a BB gun. The person then kicks in the door and runs off while firing off several rounds of those little plastic BB pellets. The homeowner says the prank caused thousands of dollars worth of damage, and police say at some point someone is going to get hurt.
Those individuals who are perpetrating it could face some serious consequences, not just by the law, but also by people who may think their home is being broken into. They may have a weapon on the other side of the door. They may come out and chase them and try to, to stop them and to hold them, and things can go terribly wrong.
So what started as a TikTok trend has now evolved into a big problem for police around the country. In Volusia County, Florida, deputies arrested 2 teens earlier this month saying, quote, the door kicking challenge is a surefire way to get locked up with a felony or even worse, shot or killed. Now, dozens of police departments around the U.S. have issued warnings about the TikTok trend here in recent weeks, and police are now asking parents to sit their kids down and talk about the dangers of this trend. John, Luann.
All right, thanks a lot, Caroline. Talk to you soon. Let's take a live look outside. There is a view in downtown Orlando. Now, about an hour ago, we had big storms there. You know how things change. And you're watching the Fox 35 News Edge, Center Florida's only live local newscast at 6:30. All right, Tesla has a new business. They have a 24/7 Hollywood diner. It's now serving up an electric lunch. This new retro-themed diner can hold more than 250 people. And, of course, it even lets you charge up your phone while also chowing down. The massive restaurant has these big LED screens and has a classic drive-in movie theater feel. Fans lining up. They're being forced to wait more than an hour just to get inside.
I saw it was really nostalgic, very retro, so I'm super excited to see what's inside.
The first location is in L.A., and by the way, they did have a few protests over the weekend over Musk's political work, but Musk says that he's looking at other cities around the U.S. to expand. Well, that's all the time we have at 6, but the headlines don't stop here.
Here is a preview of Florida Tonight, which is coming up in just a few minutes.
Hey, John and Luann, you guys know we are always trying to catch the biggest stories for our show, and tonight's show is no different. How about we start with an underwater reunion 60 years in the making? We'll tell you what brought these former Weeky-Watchy mermaids back together again. You know what they say, once a mermaid, always a mermaid, even if you're geriatric. And David Martin takes us to a real fish camp, not a restaurant, a place where you can fish all day and camp overnight, surrounded by nature. For the rookies and the day trippers, there are chartered experiences as well. And you guys know we have talked to plenty of master chefs at the top of their craft on Florida Tonight, but tonight we are meeting one of the worst cooks in America who may or may not be a ninja. We're going to find out all of his secrets to the kitchen and the throwing stars and so much more on Florida Tonight. We will see you then.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday for the News Edge at 6.
And the news continues tonight at 10. We'll see you then.